Happy Halloween. Hey everybody, my name is Wyatt and I'm Ferda Tunes, and today we got another edition, a special edition kind of diving in. It's going to be a bit of a first reaction, bit of a diving in. Basically I'm diving into Clipping, the experimental rap group, which I have a little bit of history with. Let me explain. So this is only the second artist I'm doing my diving in series on, but I would usually go much more in depth with it, and if you want to see a much better example of me really doing that series and acting it out, check out my Rena Sawayama video. I'll link it right in the description. I want to focus a lot more on like kind of going through my thought process as I dive into an artist and like go through their albums type of thing, and just analyze how I feel as I do it. But this is just going to be one album really. I just kind of wanted to make it into more of a first reaction, but also kind of a diving in series, just because it's Halloween and this October has been so fucked for me, so I couldn't really celebrate Halloween at all. But these albums are very horror themed. If you know Clipping, you know what I'm getting to. So I listened to their self-titled quite a bit in high school and I really enjoyed it, but admittedly, and I don't know why, I just never really kept up with them or returned to them too much after that. So I listened to most of last year's album, which was the first part in their horror series, this one being the second part. And I don't know if it's just not my thing, or if the songs on there that they just put specifically just didn't really hit me. But overall, it just kind of didn't really appeal to me or just do so much for me to the point where I didn't really feel like returning to it. That's just a personal taste thing. I can't tell you how much I admire the sound and the ideas that went into that album. And I could totally more than enough appreciate it from a distance. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed having on, or at least I just wasn't in love with the final result, I guess. I'm not too sure how else to describe it really. It just wasn't really my thing. But it was great fucking music. Again, great ideas. I admire the sound so much. Hopefully I'm gonna fall in love with this one, and this one will really click and really blow me away, because I'm ready to fall in love with this sound. I do love some horrorcore and some real dark fucking music. I do. So without further ado, like I said, this isn't as even close to as in-depth as I usually want to go for this series, but first reaction, Clipping, Visions of Bodies Being Burned. Let's go. We got the intro that goes into Say the Name. I'll close my window. It's getting spooky in here. See, sorry, I hate to talk over the intro, but the whole feeling of the last album and what I'm feeling right now is like I'm literally hearing a horror movie, if that makes any sense. Not even like a soundtrack or anything, it's just like if I close my eyes, I just feel like I'm in it, which is an unbelievable atmosphere to pull off, which they did with the last album. Again, I can't. I'm being skeptical, but shit is too real. Be honest with what you feel, so cover your thought 'cause it's clicking. Christ. Oh. That snare, bro. Yo, this is crazy. Yeah, this is already one of my favorite songs I've heard from these two, I feel like.
You're doing it.
No, you are. Stop it.
Don't know what you thought this was.
This is wild.
Okay.
Her name wrong step up, got
Let's get it poppin', nigga, gang, gang.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Just cut 'em off, no pockets.
Yo.
Kill shot, call me at my prime time like sandwiches at Popeyes. I call this shit my name, rock it like
Yo, who is she?
Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite? Those things that probably you should stay with. And you gonna have to die by.
Yo, that one was real dope, real interesting, but I don't know who that girl was, but she kind of fucking killed him on the track, bro. Holy hell, she brought that heat.
I'm country, au contraire, more like skin on teeth, thin veil, don't tell, but it don't sound down. Raise up, something is underneath, sharp like collarbone, hard like dick, fuck up all obstacles, obelisk, top.
Yeah, Something Underneath was real cool. Again, there's nothing really bad I can say about it at all, but I'm just not like floored with the whole thing. Like the production on there was crazy and his rapping was crazy, but there's something about his voice. His voice feels, I don't want to say casual or by no means generic or anything, but it just doesn't bring like the terrifyingness that I'm expecting, I guess. Again, that's probably just me, because these shits get so critically acclaimed, these two albums, everything from these guys really, but this is Make Them Dead.
every last one.
This is crazy already.
Put a score in.
Oh my god, that's nasty.
Make them.
That was nuts. That was really great. There's something, man. Maybe it just dragged out a bit too much for me, but it just didn't keep my attention and like enthrall me as much as I thought it would by the production.
The brush underskin, the earth crawling, all the touchdowns. Back to the back to the back.
Yeah, I want more of this. I love this shit. Like just in your face, like holy fuck. Like I feel like most of this track just kind of built on suspense, which I totally see the fulfillment in and the pleasure in, I guess. But I don't know. I want more of the just in your face, like the noisy, just loud and holy shit, terrifying stuff. You know, like the suspense. I get again with my theory of the whole horror movie watching a horror movie kind of thing with these albums. I get that a lot, but again, it's just not really for me. At least I don't want to come back to a track like that. But like the first 3 tracks, like definitely got me. Those impressed the hell out of me. We're getting into the second half here. This is Pain Every Day. See, I love this shit. How could I not love this shit? That was crazy. Definitely a highlight for sure. This is Check the Lock.
Monday, Sunday, no
Yeah, I fuck with this too. This is dope. Yo, this is crazy hard. That was a damn near flawless track from what I heard. Loved that. This is Looking for Me. Oh, yeah. That was fucking ridiculous. Oh, yeah. That was one of the hardest songs, I guess, like noisier and just, wow, that percussion was all over the place. I fucked with that one hard. That was heavy. Some of these interludes are, cool. This is Eaten Alive.
Leave your brains behind the outhouse in the grass for cats to eat.
Oh, man. This is real crazy. That last minute or two was absolutely nuts. This is Body for the Pile.
Arachnid in the corner serving up face like whose house you think this is. There's a vision in low light, mustard and mayonnaise, lettuce and red cold cuts. Moonlight.
Yeah, that sounds good,
no
man.
dust. It's where there's brothers feast and famine makes murder a meal. The cheap wall clock from stopping one shot, so knew it was time to kill.
I like this.
One shot at 3 little pigs and they can't do nothing for the last time. You can't run, you just a body for the pile, body for the pile.
Oh
And you
my
should probably take your last breath right about now.
I don't know if I was huge on that song, but the production, holy fuck, it sounded like Autechre could have produced that. Oh, wow. It was just so harsh and just, it just hit my eardrums like, His last 2 tracks, Enlacing goes into Secret Piece. This is dope. I really like the kind of grand, like big production on this one. It sounds just like really crazy and immersive. This is a nice, odd, eerie, almost ambient piece to end the album off. Yeah, and wow, pretty good piece just for ambient music. I'm not huge on that genre, but I have been diving into it quite a bit the last few years, and that doesn't give me any, weight of what I'm about to say or anything. Obviously, I'm not trying to be like that, but that was dope. If you told me this album ended in like a almost ambient piece, I would have been like, the fuck? Like, really? But that worked for some reason. That was a really good song. Secret Piece. End the album off with a, a nice vibe. That was real cool. Let me collect my thoughts. Okay, so that was Visions of Bodies Being Burned, Clipping, the second album in their horror-themed album series. Both of them dropped around Halloween, which I just can't commend him enough, man. That was great. So my biggest problem with last year's album that is also around this whole theme was I just felt like it all could have been tighter, and it was a pretty long album, so it just, maybe it was just kind of grating on my ears, and I just really wasn't feeling that sound at the time. And although this album was much shorter, I still feel like there was a lot of moments that just could have been tighter, or they just kind of dragged on a bit. And again, I see the purpose and fulfillment in the whole suspense thing with a lot of the tracks. I definitely got that. It just, I wasn't personally falling in love with it again. Songs like Make Them Dead, Eaten Alive, and Enhancing and Lancing. Great stuff, but just feel like it could have been just pushed a little into a shorter track. Maybe that's just me personally. Again, I told you guys how I felt about this whole sound and everything. So we'll see where it ends up on my album of the year end list, because I do want to put it there because they're making real good music, even if I'm not crazy about it. Like I said, I appreciate the ideas and the sound coming out of these guys wholeheartedly. A ton of moments on the production was just so harsh and just felt perfectly executed to me, and just, oh, they were nice. I loved those moments to death. I really did enjoy this album, definitely more than the last one, I'd say, just for me personally. I'm definitely going to give it another listen at some point on a nice late night walk, maybe. That would be fucked. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, this is not a fleshed out diving in series like I usually want to do. You guys will see I'm going to be dropping the next artist I'm diving into soon, so you guys will see that. But as usual, you can follow me Twitter, Instagram, everything is in the description at Ferda Tunes. I love you guys. Take care, and I hope everyone has a sick Halloween, considering all the bullshit that's been happening in this world. I don't know. Much love, guys. Keep your head up and stay safe.